Hello, everybody. This is Noah Johnson coming at you with Lab 10. Today, we're going to be talking about web components and everything involved with web components. This lab's going to be pretty quick. We did a write-up earlier on how businesses can use web components, and I'll get into that a tiny bit. But to start off, web components, the background is they were founded early 2000s by a couple Google researchers who maybe unbeknownst to them at the time that they were going to create something so widely used and relished and modeled and used on a daily basis by engineers and developers all over the world, and companies big and small. Essentially what they are, it's a set of standards, or they abide by certain web standards and APIs that allow businesses and developers alike to customize sort of different tags and functions and features that could be found in a browser and later be used in a browser. These things sort of work across all modern browsers. They abide by web standards set up by I think it's the World Wide Web Consortium. They help business in a lot of different ways. We'll get into that in a little bit. But ultimately, they're just sort of components/functions that help developers speed up their development process and keeps businesses and so the developers work more organized and streamlined, stuff like that. It's broken up, web components, into four main specifications. The first being custom elements. They laid the foundation for designing. These are probably the most customizable component within web components. They can be customized by business or developer and sort of reused again, which is a main theme, the reuse of code and standards and processes within the business or development cycle. They allow you to reuse certain tags, HTML tags, HTML features, certain features within the web browser. They allow you to reuse and customize those features. The second one is the shadow DOM. This defines how to use encapsulated style and markup within web components. The third is the ES modules, which defines the inclusion and reuse of JavaScript documents in a standards-based, modular, and performant way. And the third is the HTML template, which defines how to declare fragments of markups that go unused at page load but can be instantiated later on at runtime. So broken down into four different specifications, all touch different things. You could see the HTML template touches the markup on the sort of presentation layer of a page and how certain things are going to appear on that page and what happens if something doesn't appear. Can it be reused? Common theme, reused. Within the page, you got the shadow DOM talking about the markup of the web components. You've got the ES modules talking about the JavaScript documents that are not back-end necessarily, but much more under the surface and a deeper layer and an innermost layer rather than maybe a presentation layer. So here's just a couple different pictures of how others are using web components. Again, businesses are going to use web components. Businesses that include Google, YouTube, Salesforce, Ionic. Companies like that are going to use web components for many reasons. But again, we have to harp back to what I was saying earlier, and it's just the fact that we can reuse these components, and the ability to reuse components and code and different styles of coding and business processes. The reason that's so valuable is because it not only saves the business time, but that saved time turns into then saved money, which in a world where technology is never stagnant and always growing, saving time and money, which can be used on future projects, can be used on modifying web components, modifying current systems. that ultimately businesses who make an effort to save time and money and produce good products along with saving those two things are going to outlast wasteful businesses who don't care, businesses who just throw things around, businesses who aren't organized, businesses who don't share information amongst each other. They're just going to outgrow and last longer than those businesses. And that's something that the web components brings that and it's a reason why it's been adopted by so many different companies and developers. The last kind of thing you could talk about to why businesses would use this, again, kind of with reusability and organization, businesses, can share different data and stuff like that amongst each other and different code. And what it does is allows for developers not to sort of repeat what's going on and cause code clashes and collisions, which will further set back the development process and cost business time, money, and capital. So it's just web components are a no-brainer idea of how to sort of customize a product within a web browser, but also saving time and money and helping out your development team, just because it streamlines many, many, many intricate and complex projects and development styles and code and everything within development. It just helps you streamline that and saves you time and just lets you develop better products at a faster speed. So I appreciate you guys listening in to my little briefing about web components within Lab 10. I'll post a dev link within the description of my little write-up that gives you a little further information about web components. Harps on some of the things I said, but it gives more examples and companies and who are using these web components and why they're using them exactly. So thank you and have a good day.